talk about Nene. I wanted to talk about Nene. So let's talk about Nene. Child, these eyebrows. Did she do this? Who did this? This is very Michael Jackson-esque. It's very, very, very Michael Jackson-esque. Who did it? Who called for it? It's disrespectful. I don't like it. Nene Leakes is sharing more details about her lawsuit against the Bravo network. The reality star is currently suing Real Housewives of Atlanta producers Bravo, Andy Cohen, NBC Universal, True Entertainment, and Truly Original for allegedly fostering a racist work environment. Nene Leakes 54 claims that Kim Zolciak regularly engaged in racist rhetoric without consequence while filming. According to Radar R Online, court docs file suggests that after making the network aware of Kim's actions, she was retaliated against. Legal filings state that the network leveraged her hefty tax debt against her to keep her silent about the rate. Okay, stop right there. Can we stop right there? Y'all, can somebody explain to me how they would be able to use her hefty tax debt to keep her quiet? How? Like, okay, like I understand you may not want a story about your taxes to come out, but everybody, once they start getting money that is untaxed, will get hit hard as fuck by the government. If you're making a lot of money, you pay a chunk and you get on a payment plan. It's very simple. Robin was able to have a tax situation come and go like that. Okay, same thing goes for what's that girl name? Karen. Karen had a tax issue. I mean, I feel like the girls on the show gave her a harder time than the public. But I feel like anybody that's grown knows that the tax situation is always like a stressful thing for most people, especially people who get income that's not taxed by the government. So I'm just kind of sitting up here like, so you stay quiet about racism in the workplace as a reality show star because they were going to put the information out that you owed a lot in taxes? Girl, okay. Legal filings state the network leveraged her hefty tax debt against her to keep her silent about the racism allegations. According to reports, the situation happened after Nene and Kim engaged in a verbal argument following a girls' trip. Nene alleges that during the altercation, Kim's daughter called her home roach infested. We all remember this. We were there. It was a water bug. And then it was in a garage. Like, there are roaches in the garage. They go in the garage, they die. Like, it's what happens. Which she feels like, especially in Georgia. Like, where do y'all live in fucking Georgia where y'all don't have a whole bunch of bugs? Stop it. The reality star then took to her Instagram. Court doc states that Nene subsequently took issue to the Bravo network as well as Real Housewife of Atlanta producer Andy Cohen. Allegedly, the network responded to Nene's allegations by telling her publicly disparaging Kim was bad for business. Additionally, girl, how is publicly disparaging Kim bad for business when all y'all do is talk bad about each other on a fucking reality show? That don't even make sense to me. Thank you for the super chat, Maya. When she says linebacker, she's talking about their weight. Maya, I know. I said that. I said I know that. Thank you for the super chat. But I said that I know. I thought I explained it. Never mind. Thank you for the super chat. Additionally, docs state the network forced Nene to remove her post, but allowed Kim to keep hers posted. Once the issue had settled, court docs state the network began to target Nene. Allegedly, Bravo began to raise concerns over a $824,000 tax lien. However, Nene's legal team stated the move was clearly retaliatory as the network was previously informed about the debt. Reportedly, Nene reported the tax debt back in 2016 to the network. However, it was never an issue until racist allegations against Kim were made. Nene's team wrote in legal papers that despite paying off the debt, NBC, Bravo, and True used this issue as a justification for having concern about Mrs. Leakes' professional future and then as a justification for silencing her during this time period. In contrast, other non-Black housewives were allowed to do much worse without consequence or even threat of consequence. Nene, girl, I'm gonna tell you, I believe you that they absolutely created or fostered an environment that made you feel like it was racial. Because it usually is. It usually is. And what we mean is Usually white people are absolutely allowed to get away with things that y'all don't allow black people to get away with. I've been through that several times when I was working in corporate America. They have different rules for us than they have for the white counterparts. The white counterparts can act a fool, can have fucking conniptions, can curse everybody out and still keep their job. They can come to work drunk and high and still keep their job. They can have all kinds of like legal issues and still keep their jobs. They can make racial comments towards black people. They can sexually harass women and still keep their jobs. Black people, on the other hand, who do any of these things will be reprimanded. They will be reprimanded. They will be called to the carpet. It will not be easy for them to get away with those things. So, Nene, yeah, I absolutely feel like there's some truth to what you're saying. But my issue comes in where you don't have an issue with Kim. Kim is actually the person that was saying and doing the racially charged, things that you're saying that she did. And we saw those things, but you continue to tape with her thereafter. You continue to be friends with her thereafter. And never not once did those other women being black force you to foster some type of sisterhood with them until it was against Kim. And then right after, it was fuck the rest of the women on the cast. And then you were back to being friends with Kim. Kim is not listed in this lawsuit. So at the end of the day, I just kind of feel like, what are we talking about? It still comes off to me like you are begging these people to pay attention to you. And you have talked about them bad. You have called Andy a cokehead. You called him a racist. Then you tried to get, people to maybe garner some groundswell for them to have a conversation with you by saying that maybe you and Andy could have a conversation around the time that Greg passed away. And then you dogged all the women out for the way they decided to send flowers or whatever they did, instead of accepting what they did and appreciating the fact that, regardless to what you guys' relationship was, they still felt the need to support in any way that they felt the need to support, versus feeling like you were owed something. You have consistently been entitled, arrogant, ignorant, and you have delusions of grandeur. I also feel like you got so used to people handing you jobs and handing you work that you now don't know how to hustle for what you're trying to get. At the end of the day, you have Lanithia's Lounge. You can hire a production company, have somebody come in and shoot a couple of episodes of a show for you, put the shit on an online platform, make your money, shop it, get it picked up by somebody, and move forward in that way. But the idea that you should keep going back to Bravo, keep forming even more, like, can somebody explain to me what her issue with Kandi is? Can somebody explain to me what her issue with Kandi is? Because see, that's one of those moments where your jealousy of another woman fucked you up. Because see, if you had been halfway decent to Kandi would have helped you. I believe that. I believe, based on what I have seen from Kandi, that if you had garnered some type of mutual respect and retained that with Kandi would have went up for you. Kandi would have tried to help you. Kandi would have called in favors, maybe not to get you back on Bravo, but to get you on OWN or to get you on VH1 or whatever, because we know Kandi has good relationships with people. But because you have spent your entire relationship with Kandi being jealous of the fact that she came onto the show as somebody who was already established in your area and as an entertainer, and you were the person that is a no-name, and you come to stardom, and by the second season coming around, Kandi stepping on the scene, and you feeling like, oh no, now they bringing in somebody that actually has a history of entertaining, that actually has a resume to be on a reality show. She's gonna make me feel like shit about myself because I'm just a housewife that was a stripper that ended up blowing up on this show. So that's the insecure thing, right? So instead of handling Kandi like a grown woman and putting her insecurities to the back of her mind and welcoming Kandi and trying to get to know her and being cool with her, she's consistently been in some type of battle against Kandi, to me, by herself, alone, okay, with no one, sir, to go back and forth with her about. So, not just Kandi. I feel like there are a lot of relationships that Nene has blundered. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen Carlos say anything about Nene except for the fact that, that's his favorite, the best housewife of his franchises on Real Housewives of Atlanta, or his, she's a queen bee. Everybody knows that Nene is a queen bee of Bravo, of Real Housewives. All of them other women, yeah, but nobody put them on the map like Nene. Period. Period. I would love to see Carlos get Nene to do something, but something makes me feel like that's another relationship that may have disintegrated, because Carlos is the type that I think he'll still speak highly of you in public even if he refuses to fuck with you in private. Because to me it would make no sense as to why that has not already happened if it were not for the fact that there's some beefage there. Didn't Kandi put her on escape tour and she messed it up by telling that flawed joke? She sure did. No one is saying that Nene did not do all those bad things. What we are saying is Bravo, for the most part, disciplines the black talent and for the most part does not the white. I agree. But what I am saying is, if Nene can get something out of it, I don't begrudge her. But I also feel like there is something to be said about holding on to negative energy that is not going to serve you in the long run. I'm a person that believes in relinquishing. So if it's something that is strenuous to me, if there's something that I feel like is not worth all of that, then I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Take a deep breath, breathe the negative energy out, and I'm going to refocus my energy on what I can control. Versus Nene constantly going after Bravo over and over and over and over again. And if she can get something out of it, great. But to me, this is a waste of creative energy. It is a waste of her energy to even continue trying to play with them. Like, fuck them. Go and figure out your own shit. Go and do your own thing. You have the namesake. You're Nene Leakes. All you have to do is get you a production company and put that shit together for yourself. Y'all, can't nobody stop Nene from putting something up on YouTube. Can't nobody stop her from creating her own website and releasing her own web series. Like, Nene can garner this support from the public if she felt like putting in the work. And she doesn't want to put in the work the way you would need to in order to build it yourself, because she feels like she built Bravo. So now she wants to go after, and it's like, them white people is not gonna let you come and take their shit from them. I don't know why you think that. You were always a representative for a company that was already established, for a channel that was already making money. Yes, you made it mainstream popular, absolutely, but that does not garner what you're asking for. It just doesn't. And that's why make your own shit. That's why. I don't even understand her continuing to do this with them. I know it was because she never put any real effort into it, because it was always, let me get up here and talk. She was doing the Nicki Minaj thing where I'm not really creating content. I'm just getting up here and talking shit about people. And that's cute. But if there ain't nothing to talk about, and if you're talking about the same thing, nobody wants to hear that shit over and over and over again. So to me, this is a waste of energy. And it would have been way better if she would have put time and effort into her own platform, and then let them people come back to you when they see that your fans are supporting you. Because that's how this happens. A lot of us have figured out that you have to build this shit yourself and then let the opportunities come to you based off of what you can amass on your own, because you no longer need networks and shit. Like, it's just not like that anymore. And I just feel like she's putting way too much of her time and her energy into fighting Bravo instead of creating something for herself that would give her the freedom that she needs, and also something that would be more substantial for her versus always having to be brought on as talent and not being paid on the back end. You know what I'm saying?